Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Bitcoin, pump it, baby. We already made a trade. Let's go. We can't stop the lifers. Yeah, we're back Monday morning ready to go. And if you were in the trading group, we already hit a trade, and I'm going to teach you exactly how we did it, what happened. We were live last night, too, and I did enter that trade last night, and I sold it this morning in the group. Most consistent, everyday hit and never quitter. Let's go into it. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. We start off with no BS, banging on them to the upside, showing you how we do this every single day. And I give the call, I give the sell, baby. We hit it. Pretty sweet, pretty nice. And I'll show you why I sold and what happened here. But I saw the 21 above the 200. Bang, bang, bang. Everything started to kind of go our way. And shout out to my man, AZ Welding. Look at my man, AZ Welding Hub. This guy's the man, dude. AZWeldingHub.com. Check him out. He made me a really cool Bitcoin sign. This guy's amazing. His welding art is insane. What he can do is amazing. His metal art is just absolutely mind-blowing, and he made me a Bitcoin sign that I find absolutely beautiful. We're going to send you that address today, man. God bless you. So look at this. That could get all the way to 71,800 if we get this beautiful flag to the upside. We're just going to leave this for you, and we're going to get into our top-down analysis. Last night, if you watched my show, I saw that this candle was starting to turn green, and I longed it right about there with a stop loss below the wick, and I just sold it. Why did I sell it? Well, we're away from the 21 on the 4-hour. I used the 21 in the 200 moving average. We had broken above the 200, which is great. But we had lagged with the 25, the 21. The 21 was too far away for me. And beautiful move. And technically, look, you even got this here, which is an ascending triangle that broke to the upside. You'll learn how to trade patterns and shapes with me in conjunction with volume profile, order flow. You know what I mean? You're going to understand where price action's going. Look, this said 65,000. We only went to what? 65.5 was the low. But I mean, remember, it told us we were going down to 65.5. We went to 65.6. All right. Now bookmaps tell us we're going to 69.5. You see, the red is above us now. These are just where the stop losses are, the most likely liquidations based on the heat map order book of what's happening. So it tells me there's a lot of orders up here. I like to do it with not as many ticks. As you can see, I'm more spread out. Other people are more like watching the tiny frames. I just want to see the direction of the day, and then I use my own strategies to get into the smaller time frames. I'm using bookmap, which is order flow. I'm looking to see where the orders are. Understand? This is API giving me information from Binance Futures, Bybit, OKX, and BitGet. It's called bookmap data in bookmap, which gives you, amalgamated data, which is pretty nice. 68.8, and let me show you the sell here on the show. I don't paste it. I would have sworn I posted that to the group. Anyway, maybe I was somewhere else. Always something. Michael Saylor buys more Bitcoin today, too. You know it. Piling in. Insane. How much more Bitcoin they're buying. It's just insane. But shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. And does this continue? I'm looking for us to make some type of beautiful order here. Ooh, what is this? I don't want to have that out. Bitcoin Vegas is amazing. I'm telling you right now, every single time I've went, it's been amazing. I've had an absolute blast. It's always been rock solid. Just awesome. Yeah, but we took that trade down. I took it for $633 on the 33 with 86.33 in the target there too. In the change, which is weird. 233s in the number. Right? And we're going to see if there's more live trades, even though this is a false move Monday, and I usually don't trade Mondays. Something spicy going on tonight. And today, actually. I said tonight, man, maybe where you are, but something spicy going on today. I'm feeling it. That's why I'm feeling this ginger beat right now. Going to take a little ginger beat right now. And I'm going to start making these things, man. I'm going to put out my own brand of this stuff, Lifer Shots. Why not, man? I love this stuff. I'm into it. I like to sell what I'm into. Why buy someone else's when you can make your own? I'm going to use a glass bottle just like these people. But that was ginger beet, a shot of ginger and beet, man. Extracted, ready to go. Look at this. Is there something? Wow, look at this move here. Technically, look a little bit of a bull flag here on the 5-minute time frame, breaking out. Bitcoin getting a little bullish on the smaller time frames right now. Wow, just shot out beautifully. A bit of a double bottom here. Looks like this thing may continue. I don't chase. I don't dance. I put on my pants and do the rock away. You know what I'm saying? Hey. I was of that era, you know what I mean? I was in Queens at the time, baby. I don't dance. I just pick up my pants and do the rock away. Do the rock away. Hey, that was a Queens thing, you know what I'm saying? But funny, done by a Bronx dude, Fat Joe, on that New York. Where my New Yorkers at? Who here is in New York City, baby? Shout out to my New Yorkers. I lived in New York for 20 years. I got to get that sound effect. I have it on my other mixing board. Oh, yeah, I found out where to grab it last night, too. Could make a right shoulder here for Bitcoin. I already got out, like, right into this wick here, so I'm like, I'm kind of getting antsy to get back in, but I'm also want to wait it out. I wanted to make a beautiful flag. This would be, what I do is I make my dream trade. I've watched price action for years, and I've seen the best trades play out. You know what I mean? I've watched how price action can sometimes look beautiful and just do exactly what it's supposed to do. It happens a lot. People say, oh, it can't, so they get in their head. You know what I mean? But the idea is this, right? Is if you keep doing something, it pays off. And so I find probabilities. And so what I do is I create the perfect trade before it's a perfect trade. And I say, follow this route. If you follow the path that I wrote for you, I'll take it. If you don't follow the path that I wrote for you, I won't take it. You see? So like Bitcoin could do a couple things. It could double top and start to dump. It could come up here and keep ripping, but it might just go sideways. If it does, it tells me there's a higher probability of me winning the trade. So I'm a simple guy. I do simple stuff. I don't reinvent the wheel. I found what works. And it's really simple too, what I did. Now, let me teach you how I got paid and how I learned how to get paid. Let's look at Duolingo. I've never looked at this chart before in my life. All right. If you stayed in the chart, even though it made a head and shoulder here and told you it was going to dump the length, I mean, that says it's taking a beat down. Says it's not done yet with the measured move. A lot of people love this stock, right? They're into it. I mean, it went from $73 to $500. Not too bad in a couple years, a year and a half. So anyway, why am I talking about Duolingo? I was just looking at it earlier today and it happened to have been up. I was watching what someone else was saying. So let's take a look at Duolingo. The idea is this. I know nothing about trading. I know green candles make money. I know red candles don't make money. And I know numbers. So I knew if I were to get in here at 200 and sell here at 294, I'd make, right, 50% on my money, right? I'd make $100, so I $200. Not too shabby, right? So if I put in 10 grand, I could make $5,000. If I put 100 grand, I could make 50 grand, $1 million, $500,000, and so on and so forth. Look at this. This has nothing to do with Bitcoin. I don't think they hold Bitcoin. They've never spoken about Bitcoin. They're not correlated to Bitcoin. Nothing to do. They might take, I don't know if they take payment. The point is, this has nothing to do with any of that. And look at my strategy. There's the shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. Okay? There's the cup and the handle. Sammy cup and handy. And then even if you threw all that away and you've just been watching me recently more, like, there's the 21 above the 200 on the daily in a flag telling you it has a measured move. The measured move is the algorithmic wick to wick. Okay? Grab the wrong one. That's where you're going to go. I don't know why, but look, and then you usually get a little what I call throw up. Just like when a wave comes and it crashes, there's always the white foam at the end, like the finishing, we call it the finishing. It finishes off, right? So there's always like a splash. And again, you can keep trading the signal because the signal doesn't stop. The 21 above the 200. You see? And every time you hit the 21, boom, entries at the 21, at the 21, at the 21. So then you fast forward to Bitcoin today, and you see, how did Sammy trade Bitcoin this morning, or what were you looking for? And you're looking, look, same stuff. When you're at the 21 is the entry above the 200 moving average inside of a tight flag. Kind of looks like they faked it out, broke it back inside. You see? Are you picking up? Does anyone understand what I'm doing, or does this look like rocket science? Is anybody confused? Is anybody seriously just deprived of the ability to perceive what I'm saying? That's okay, because I probably would have been in my... It took me a long time to understand this stuff. Other people might be like, no, dude, we're flying right through this. We're eating it right up. I've been trading for years, and this makes sense to me. This is a new strategy that may have been introduced to you. You don't know before. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Okay. Thank you, Sean, for being relentless. I love you, brother. It's a hard game, isn't it? We don't stop, though. We don't stop. What's it like working for a man that never takes a day off, Sean? What is that like? Must be kind of nice, knowing that it's, guaranteed, I wouldn't want my boss to stop working if he was paying me. Hey. I'm like, hey, work, keep going, buddy. Never stop, man. Let's get those checks coming. No, but Sean, we love you, man. We appreciate you. And you've shown so much more loyalty than money, man. We love you, brother. And we thank you so much for being here. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's go, baby. Starting off with a long already. And looking like we may get into another long here for Bitcoin. The projection that I laid out is starting to look interesting. I'm going to clean up my sauce here and get tight. And the key is after you win, there's the idea that you can risk some of what you've won already. Kind of like, conservative is this length. Long pole is this idea. Try to get extended there. Doesn't mean I'm going to sell at that extended area. Usually I'll take maybe 70% of that. I might even get out in the middle there at 70,000. So something like this is what I'm starting to watch very closely. Rejection of 69,269. Nice little move here at 68,678. And again here, like I said, yesterday's live stream, you'd be paid if you jumped on in. So there's no reason to miss a mark here. Telling you, man, people show up late and they end up missing some of the greatest trades ever. You got to be on point. I'm not missing this market. I'm locked in right now, 68,632. And I'm not saying I'm getting in. I want to see the trade. I want to see the risk. And so, look, I already made 633, right? So I'm up 633 after, and it was very little fees. So $600, at least, I think a little more than that. So now if I lose 240, 250, I'm still up 350 on the day. You see what I'm saying? And so this trade starts to look more appealing because of the risk. And then if I hit, I'm going to be up almost $2,000 on the day, right? So now I'm risking a $350 day for a $2,000 day. You see what I'm saying? You see how that works? So it's more than the trade. It's your trading portfolio. You're kind of risking the day. I start looking at that, like kind of pulling away and seeing it from that perspective. It is False Move Monday. I must be careful. Could easily get snapped out of this one. And this will be the first live trade of the day. The 21 above the 200, everything looking nice. I just don't like how extended we are on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. But we may just get a little more push up here. Just a little more. 5 minute also looking interesting here. I'm trading the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frame. I'm going to take a schnibble. It's lower risk to return now, though. But it's still a good 3-1 at 234. I can lose that trade and still bounce back for the day. We got a long day of trading, and I like to trade Monday night between like 7 and 12 tonight, so I'll be very active tonight too as well. So if you're international, it really doesn't matter if you're in Dubai, Singapore, around the world. It doesn't matter. I stayed in those countries, and I traded with my, the timings that I trade a little off, but point is, I'm going to give you so many setups and ideas all the time if you're in the trading group that it doesn't matter your time frame. We're going to get you locked and loaded. Shout out to the crypto livers. Keep hitting that like button, everybody. It helps more people show up to the stream, tells them that they're getting what they like. They showed up for information and for education. They're getting it. So let people know that they're going to get exactly what they're looking for by the algorithmic move. All right. Feed the AI. I think this is a little high risk seeing where the 21 is on the 1 hour time frame. It's like we kind of got the move of the day. I feel like the next bigger move will be later on when we resettle with the 1 hour 21. How we deal with the 200, that's kind of teaching me something. I'm kind of seeing it in my brain now. Let me bring you in, So there's a live trade there. We'll see what happens. It's up about $6. No big deal. It could easily lose. I'm not risking a lot, and I'd still be up on the trade. So there we have it. Bitcoin. And we'll come back to this in a second, but I like 69,230 for BTC. Now let's zoom out. Let's do our top-down analysis. Last night we did our weekly candle close. Got ready for the week ahead. I believe we have PPI this week. Is that true? Is that what is going on? Monday the 9th, right? President Trump will speak today at 4:30. Watch the markets. Maybe I'll go live for that. You never know. Sometimes I do. Nothing here but CPI. Yes, CPI Wednesday at 8:30. Unemployment claims Thursday at 8:30. And PCE Friday at 8:30. So we've got, and we've got core durable goods. We got some information. And so Friday at 8:30, Thursday at 8:30, and Wednesday at 8:30, you got CPI, unemployment claims, and core PCE, preliminary GDP quarter over quarter. So that information is going to rock the boat. I'll tell you what, could give you an opportunity to make money, could be an opportunity to liquidate you if you don't read it right. At least know that it's coming and get yourself ready. That's the key. Seeing like we're getting a bounce off the bottom trend line here after a bit of a dump. Small dump, I'm saying, We'll see, though. Puts us down 47 in the trade. An ascending triangle, bit of an inverted head and shoulder here. Still no guarantees on a false move Monday. Who's long on the trade because of your own education and what you saw? Anybody long on the trade? Put a 444 if you're long on the trade. Tell me that you're long. Put a 222 if you're short in the trade. Put a 333 if you're just observing and happy to be here. And put it, you know what I mean? God bless everybody in the live. Thank you for jumping on in. So we got a lot of 444s, a lot of people in the trade. We got some shorts. We got some people who are short. It's interesting. And we got some 333s. I love it. Let's get the chat kicking. Let's keep it moving. Blessings on blessings. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I didn't trade today. 333, my man Ricky Pistana. We love you, Ricky. Thank you. Shout out to Crypto Sasquatch. Bitcoin to the moon. I hope so. That'd be amazing. Shout out to Bellico X. And Michael Saylor keeps buying more Bitcoin. He does not care. It's amazing when you think about it. Just keeps buying more. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care, man. Saylor buys more Bitcoin. Follow me at Crypto Lifer. They purchased 17,994 Bitcoin for $1.28 billion at 70,000 per Bitcoin as of 3/8. Dude, they just, oh my God. He buys $1 billion more BTC. His average price is now $75,000 a Bitcoin. Unbelievable. Remember when we were first in Bitcoin, if I told you someone was going to have $50 billion, average price of 75. Bitcoin, baby. Bitcoin. I long Bitcoin last night and fell asleep. Woke up to money. Gains in my sleep yet again. This is the life. Shout out to Weeks. 6630 out at 68,200. That's a beautiful move for Bitcoin. Actually, I got out at 68,883. You know what I mean? We took more out of that trade. This was the end result here. 68,988. Excuse me. Didn't mean to smudge the numbers there. They were even better than I said they were. Bitcoin looking strong inside the flag. Playing with your mind here on the Up and Down Monday. Will we win or lose the trade? Anything is possible. Some people are bigger than me trading bigger accounts, but they lose more. I'd be honest, the people that make the most money are the people that trade smaller accounts over time. I know you don't want to believe that, but that's the truth. It is. The losses are smaller, the wins can get bigger, and then I can amplify these exact strategies when the market's really hot and have a way higher probability of winning. If I can win now, in the last 2 weeks I've been showing you how to win. We've hit gold, we've hit silver. Heck, we've hit oil, which came crashing back down to 100 here from the 119 level. Unbelievable move. Last night we looked at this flag, said it could get to 124. It did get to 120. You're greedy if you didn't move your stop to break even and take position there. Okay. Unbelievable. I longed your signal last night on the 4-hour candle, up 70% long now. Shout out to who was with me last night on the live and took the long. Who likes the long with the lifer, baby? Put a 555 555 soul. Let me see those 555 souls. 555 if you long with the lifer, baby. and you get it in, and you don't stress, and you keep it pushing, and you love your life, and you just go with the strategy that works time and time again. Stop playing games. Stop using emotions. Trade like a bot. My trading bot in my mind says 21,200, go long. No thought process there. No emotions needed. Just get it done. You can, you will, you are the best. Speak positively to yourself. Become your best cheerleader. You got to be the number one person that pushes you. You've got to keep going. Never stop. Never stop, folks. Never stop. I can never stop being my best cheerleader. How can I get to the next level? How am I get to 1 million subs if I stop now? Never going to happen. We're all on our own journey. Sammy's on his way to 250,000 subs. You're on your way to changing your life. Some of you might be getting married. Some of you might have had your first kid in the last year. I know some of you have. You've told me. Some of you have started businesses, changed your life, left your 9 to 5. Maybe some of you have taken your first job and started a trade on the side. Everybody has a journey, folks. Don't compare yours to anybody else's. You're on your own path, your own speed, your own place. Nobody knows your upbringing. No one knows you. Here's another thing that I used to say on my show all the time as I'm starting the macro technical analysis here on the monthly. Pull the Fibonacci on the monthly. We came back down to the 786 Fibonacci. Nice little bounce there with the wicks. Pretty beautiful, right? Now, the idea behind this is there's a lot of resistance here and here. And so you'd hope that Bitcoin is coming to a liquidity zone, and a pretty fat one at that. One that could technically hold it down for a little bit and get us a bit of a bounce. Could it be a dead cat bounce? Could it be a fake out? Anything is possible. But I'm looking for some type of move after 6 months straight of dumpage, which is the longest Bitcoin's ever endured in its history of price action. You'd think there would be some type of relief rally here off of 786 Fibonacci retracement. Now, yes, you could go deeper and say, well, that's not the whole cycle. Even then, fine, take us to 39,038K. Still not that bad from the drawdown area of where I started buying Bitcoin at 61, 60, 61.5, 62, 63,000. So Bitcoin goes lower, so be it. To me, this will be the greatest buy zone in history of any asset in the world. Bring the scarcest asset while they're printing money to zero. Bring it down here, come on. Into the greatest buy zone in history. Like the macro 786. Like, go ahead and do it. I'm waiting. I dare you. I shouldn't dare. Oh, look what you did, Sam. You just woke up the bears. No, but see, this is likely to me, and then you get this leg. You get this whole leg, really. Elliott wave, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. A, B, C. I mean, that gives you 178,000 by February of 2028, but it's going to take some time. Even if we get the best leg, which we got when this ETF accumulation came, which I feel like was the strongest leg of almost any asset I've ever seen, that kind of pushes us further back. So I believe we're going to get to these beautiful places, but we're going to get there a little later than people are telling you. And I could be wrong. Maybe there's hyperinflation, but we've been saying this for years, and this is the cost of inflation. The dollar ebbs and flows, but this is the cost of inflation, folks. Something can be worth literally a penny. This thing was worth less than a penny, Bitcoin. It was $1 at one point. It's now $69,000. It's up 69,000x. You gotta respect that. Like, nothing's been doing that. So Bitcoin's already made its stated claim. It's done so much that people don't even understand what it's done. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when someone made thousands of patterns, you wouldn't even know how many patterns they made. And you'd be like, oh, he did a lot, but you wouldn't even know how much they really did. Like Nikola Tesla is brushed over, but made more patterns than I think any human being in history or something. And no, you don't even learn about him in school. They didn't even tell me who Nikola Tesla was, and I went to the oldest high school in America. Why? Why was he brandished? Why was he taken off the curriculum? I didn't hear about him in college. I didn't know who Nikola Tesla was till I was 24. I was working, and a guy was outside of his room reading for whatever reason in a chair. He liked this chair in like the hallway kind of area, and he's sitting there with his leg up. This big 6'4" Swedish guy, maybe 6'5", Eric. We're getting the pump, folks. Getting a little pump here so far. And right as I said that, we subdued. But hey, let's see what happens. Can we get the breakout? It's getting better than it looked before. But Eric's sitting there reading the life and times of Nikola Tesla. I say, Eric, what is that? He said, oh, you don't know who Tesla is? I said, no, what do you mean? He said, oh my gosh, man, you got to read this book when I'm done. And he gave it to me. And then I watched documentaries and books, and I was into Tesla for years. He was my favorite person for a long time. I got a shirt with his face on it. I wore it all the time. This is before Tesla was even out. This is back in 2009, right? Maybe Tesla, I think Tesla was out, but maybe it wasn't really well known at the time. You know? Then he comes out with Tesla, and I'm like, of course I understand why he called it Tesla. You know? Changed my whole life. So Nikola Tesla is one of the most studied people I've ever studied. He changed my life, man. He made me realize there's, you know, and I always wanted to be a genius like Tesla. I was like, I want to change the world like him. I want to sit alone. Like, while everyone else wants to be out partying, I want to sit alone in a laboratory, tinkering, creating something that the whole world will one day remember. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I dream of. I'm probably a strange dude. You know, I think I'm a bit of a weird person compared to the average person, but that's okay. I don't want to be like everybody else. That means I would be normal. And what would that be? My channel wouldn't be that exciting. So by, you know, studying people that always gave me a new perspective and a new imprint on life, I was always able to kind of strive for something different than I saw around me. You know, some men dream of things that are and say, why not? Or say why. I dream of things that never were and say, why not? I might have botched it a little bit, but that's that quote that I stay with. You know, some men see things as they are and say, why? I dream of things that never were and say, why not? You know what I mean? Like, why even look at the system that makes no sense? We build our own systems. We create our own universes. The whole crypto community, it was a bunch of people that created their own things out of thin air, man. So look at the daily. I see this top trend line. I see this bottom trend line. Beautiful, beautiful bullish candle here for the daily. And honestly, let me get rid of a lot. You could look at it like a symmetrical triangle. This line is this falling wedge that we're in. I just, you know, it's a lot of lines. I get it. But you got to stick with it. I do, you know, I've also been kind of looking at this like a rising wedge too, though. Almost looks like a fake out. I'll be honest, man. I go back to this idea that like it was a beautiful ascending triangle that faked out, broke back inside, got caught by the channel, broke back up again. And man, maybe this thing surges as they caught the bears off guard. They made it look like a, so this was a bull trap, but really was a bear trap. You know, kind of looks like a double bottom here too. You got a double bottom on the daily. So what I do is I collect a bunch of data. I'm like a Bitcoin detective. Every day I collect a bunch of data and I feed my subconscious mind. My subconscious mind has a lot of this data stored because this is all I've been doing for years. Every single day. I don't watch a bunch of weird stuff on TV. I don't go places and feed my mind nonsense. I sit and do the same thing every single day. Why? Because I studied famous rich people. And famous people that weren't even rich, like some of them, you know, looks Edgar Allan Poe. Great poet. I don't know if he died with money, but he was amazing. He was consistent. He wrote his poems, right? Vincent van Gogh. Insane. Cut his ear, the whole thing, right? Was amazingly consistent with his painting, though. Anyone who's consistent, you remember. I want to be remembered, so I'm consistent. Really don't, you know, making money's half of growing something to be believed in, something to be remembered by. So look, as I take you through these thoughts and concepts, I also move you through the charts. So the daily, nice move on the daily. And I gave you the call last night on the live stream for free. You can't say I didn't. So, you know, you'd be like, you can say whatever you want, but I gave you the call. Beautiful. This could be the top of the channel here. Sam, you've drawn 100 shapes. Which one is it, bro? You're all over the place. That's what I would say to me. And I'd say, you're right, man. The market's been like this. But I would say, you know what? This is the trend line. We're back inside again. I see the double bottom. I see it, man. I see what they're doing. And remember, I talked about this trend line really harshly, and I said, listen, resistance, resistance, resistance. It's probably a spider line. Kind of see resistance there, bounce there. It's an interesting area. We'll spend time doing that at another day. But so look, the daily back inside the trend line technically. Does it look like I was going to do what's called a bearish retest and just dump back? You know, it looked like a comeback dump. But to me, that's inside the pattern, so it tells me you're going to head back up to resistance and to the top of the trend line. And maybe for more. And I see the double bottom there. That's not that easy to see. Some say you could combine this and say, I don't do that because you skip this area, and that means you skip a trend. I got to be true to the trend. So my pattern is, I think I do patterns, but I do them differently than most people because I'm really, really like, I have these like real strong rules about how to use the lines. And it's been predicted through my, subconscious. So look, that doesn't look amazing there. Super tight to the trend. Let's redraw and see what's happening. That's like your more realistic. Could be a little bear div here. Yeah, that kind of slightly down on the RSI, up in price action, oversold on the stochastic. We didn't get the follow through. Could be a false move Monday. Merengarang. Still up $70 in the trade, which is surprising. I didn't think I was. Let's see. This could be the shootout right here. And look at the volatility on the 1 minute. Just up and down, up and down, up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes right there. Just back and forth chop. Too many people in decision. We got 100 X's on both sides. They're giving the market makers too much fun in here. If they let it go and we all traded bigger time frames, if we all traded bigger time frames and we laid off high leverage, less people would be in these tiny, small, look, I'm at 9X leverage, man. You don't have to trade every time. You know what I mean? You just have to know how to trade. I could trade I could have traded 30X. I could have traded 9X. It doesn't really matter. I could still go whatever I go for. 100 for 600, 200 for 600. It's all about the key is the less leverage, the less the liquidation. Like this liquidation price is 61.5. And the most I can lose is what's in the trade, which is 3,200 of a $30,000 account. So you see how low risk I'm taking this? Very important that you're looking at the bigger picture every time you trade. So a couple ideas. One, that we're back inside of an ascending triangle, or we're back inside of this weird idea here. I kind of like this idea that we're back inside of an ascending triangle like this. Makes more sense to me. But you got to respect this trend line now because it is a trend line. So Bitcoin, man, get back inside the good graces. Nice pump to 69.4. Signs of a move here. Let's go, baby. Break out, Bitcoin. Let's get the pump in front of everybody. Let's get the massive candle here. Let's win with the group on Sammy's Long. Can we do it? 69.420. We hit it. We did hit it, right? Funny. Well, it's a better system because it's instant response, because it runs off exhaust. I'm not eating ramen tonight again. I know, right? Not again. No more hot dogs. So let's take a look at the 12-hour and the 22. Both responding beautiful with low stochastic. And again, stochastic's RSI. Low energy to the shorts. High energy, to the longs. And another reason why I was saying, I should take that bounce. Guys, you could kind of separate it here on the 2-hour. Or the 12-hour, sorry. I like my 8-hour too bouncing. I mean, that was just unrealistic. How many 8-hour candles? That was just strange. Like there was going to have to be a bounce there. And you got a higher low on the 8-hour time frame. You got a higher high and a higher low. 8-hour time frame slightly digging out here. Look at it. You got a double bottom, made a higher high in the set. You came down for a higher low. And you got low stochastics. 8-hour looks pretty good to me. Says you're going to go the length of the previous, so there you go. The 8-hour says you're going to make a higher high and plow to the 200 moving average. Somewhere back to 77.5. So I'll be honest, they've thrown me for a loop. It's look bullish, look bearish, look bullish, look bearish. Last night I was able to flip bullish at the right time. See, it's about being able to flip. It's not about being right or wrong, my friends. And look, I like how this 1 hour staying above the 200 with the 21 coming. We really might not get another move until we get, and this would be beautiful. In 6 hours from now, this is how I've been trading. I trade the 1 hour a lot. I really do trade the 1 hour more than I realize. It's probably my go-to time frame. It's the most direct time frame. It just does what it says it's going to do most of the time. And it's the blueprint for almost every other time frame in a way. You can learn how to trade the small time frames with it. You can learn how to blend into the big time frames. The 1 hour will really get you cooking. So look, let's go over how I teach and what I show you. I use the moving averages, the 200 and the 21, specifically for entries and exits, because they show you when you're extended and when you're in discount and premium. It's really simple. High away from the 200, you're in premium. You know what I mean? Near the 200, you're in discount. You're in good price. Or you might be in kind of medium. You're in discount when you're very far away from the 200. You're in extreme discount. I don't buy extreme discount because you know what I mean? You can do it if you want. I mean, that was a beautiful move. If it's on the right time frame, if we got above the 1 minute 200 here, yes, I take it. I can teach you how to do all this stuff. Like if you wanted to take this move here, you slide it to the 1 minute. Anyway, so we use the moving averages. But Sam, you're drawing patterns all the time. Aren't you a pattern trader? Yes and no. Because I use order book and I use order flow. I'm always looking at a book, a heat map, order book, heat map, book map, order book, heat map, right? I always have an order book on hand. I'm always looking at order flow. I'm always looking at volume profile. I'm looking at where the orders like to, I mean, you can see this stuff. It's right here. This is the volume profile, the VRVP, the visible range volume profile. Wow, so we got the move. To me, this tells me this trade is kind of nil now. Maybe not worth hitting. So what I could do is I could move this stop to break even here. Not lose any money, so if they come get me, so be it. I gave myself enough room to not lose much. The key is to, if you can have tiny losses every single time you go at trades and bigger wins every time you hit trades, you're going to be in a really good place. So I'm not greedy. If you're greedy, you're like, oh man, I probably caught it. It's going to rip today, and if I don't get it, what happens? So what if it rips up to 80K today? Who cares? There's going to be a nice short back down. There's going to be a nice long back up. There's always another trade. There's never been a day. There's days when it's tight. But there's never been a day when we couldn't find another trade eventually, like, or a week, I should say a week when we can't find a trade. So look, that broke the trend line. My idea got negated. Why stay in a trade when the idea is negated? In my past judgment, the 21, you got to stay above the 21. We lost the 21 right there. That's not a good sign. Bit of a rising wedge. You got some bear div as well that we did point out. What is bearish divergence? Let's talk about it. So back again, how do I trade? I use the moving averages. Support or resistance is so key. Look what we came to. Previous resistance right there. Previous resistance right here. I mean, that's an area that you're going to likely take some profits at. And we hit it right there on a wick. 69.4, 60, and look, the 500, 69.4, 69.5, it looks like we hit. These are key areas you want to pay attention to. Okay? And once you make a decision, don't go back at it. I did what I did. I cut off the trade. Now I got to look for another entry. Means I have to use my sauce in science. The great thing about entering charts too is you're not afraid to sell charts and take profits. I can make 10 trades a day. The old me could make 1 or 2 trades a day because every time I was in a trade, I'd be so afraid I couldn't get a good entry, I couldn't sell the trade. You see what I'm saying? So many times it was so hard for me to get into the trade. Once I got in, I couldn't convince myself to get out because I'm like, oh man, I'll never get in again. You know, it's a tough mentality to have when you're trading. We all get into these ruts. That's why you got to listen to Trading in the Zone. He teaches you that your rut it doesn't make any sense. He teaches you that you just have to, you know, basically, he goes to the saying, I'll go to one thing in Trading in the Zone to help you. I'll give you like one of the chapters. I'll summarize a chapter for you. I think it's like chapter 4 or 5, not even chapter 3. I don't know exactly the chapter. But in the chapter, he talks about a young kid that goes, let's just say you have a baby, you know, there's a baby, 3-year-old baby, goes to his grandma's house. There's 2 grandmas, the grandma on one side, the grandma on the other side. 2 grandmas, both alive, both have dogs. Goes to his, you know, the grandma on the father's side's house, and there's an old dog, and the dog's real grumpy, and he's not that friendly, and nobody really notices, and the kid grabs the dog's hair or the ear, and the dog snaps at him, cuts him a little bit, scares the kid cries. It's a negative experience, right? Okay. So the kid goes to his next grandma's house. I got to do something with this. I do it, but so the kid goes to the grandma's house, the next grandma's house. You know, and there's another dog there. This dog's completely different. This dog's a nice little cute dog. Doesn't bite, and the kid won't go near the dog. He's convinced that dog's going to bite him. Right? Why is that? Well, because he's decided that every experience is the same experience. Very similar to if you win 3 trades and then you don't take the next one because you believe with conviction that the next trade's going to be a loser. Because you lost all the other ones, so of course you're going to lose again, right? So he tells you how that's an illogical thought because every trade is different. Every trade has different participants. Like right now, I could have been on my way to the airport. I could have said I'm going to trade until this time, but then I got to go. There's times I'd have to go to the airport. Like I have to close the computer. I got to pack, say goodbye to my kids. I can't be in a trade. You know, and so that might be me right now. You never know. And then next thing you know, you're out. You can't participate for the rest of the day. Now, that's different than Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The point is every single day there's new participants in the market and every trade is different than the last. So you can't take past experiences psychologically and tell yourself that's the outcome of your next trade. It's unfair to you and it's illogical. So whenever you're getting emotional, well, I lose every trade I'm getting in. Once I get in, it goes down. You're not making any sense. You're actually making an illogical assumption about an experience that doesn't make sense. Now, do I go back in again? This might be an interesting way. And I've really found a way to really prevent a lot of losses by just kind of going at the chart. You got to be consistent. You do have to have time to sit here. That's the one thing about trading. You do have to be here to trade. Once I became a pro trader, this is all I did for a living. I had nothing else to get in the way of trading. No, there was nothing else to stop me from just doing what I do. Just so beautiful because so many days, my trade, I was at work and I couldn't take a trade. You say that to yourself. Maybe you wouldn't even have taken the trade ever. You're like, beginners, we like to tell ourselves we would have taken I would have taken that trade. No, you would. Funny, right? I know we've all done that. Yeah. I have BDA, I have mine, but can't set it out to the X1 app. I don't know what that means. It's a good book. Make sure to finish it all, yeah. I believe it's 2 different kids, yeah. The answer is neither because it's based on your perception or experience. Exactly. It's about seeing the truth, isn't it, Sammy? I think so. I'm on 4K, not transfer yet. I have 2 10 bags, 2 bonus. I don't know what that means. God bless you, though. Hope it works out. Talking about some protocol that I don't know about. And that maybe I don't condone or even want to. I don't know. That's the thing. Always guarding the channel. On guard. Again, we go like, light. Keep it light. Just add to the win today. Don't stress. That looks like it could make a parabolic run now. It's False Move Monday. I'm Con. When in doubt, breathe it out. Count to 10. I like how it made a base there. Strong double bottom. Or, kind of, yeah. Could curl back and do a rippy. See, this is going to change a lot now. See, the risk is going to change quickly. 239 to 760. Still a good risk to reward. And now you got to get to 70K. Definitely higher risk than the trade I took this morning, you see? That's why I'm thinking about it so much. And you're like, why do you think so much about $233? Because to me, it's about execution. It's not about the money at all. None of this matters. If money doesn't matter, then it's about behavior. You're going to do what you keep doing. If you take gains and you take profits, you're going to continue to do so. If you play games and get in and out of trades and never really get in, never really could tell yourself what you're going to do, and you're always in emotional states of in between, then you're likely going to fail. You know what? I'm okay with missing the pump. I'm going to get back to my analysis here. So we're waiting for the 1 hour to kind of cool off. It's a little too far for the 21. And it's making me think logically about the rest of the trade for today. 3-day chart above the 202. Beautiful. 15, same story, morning glory. Might have to come back down a little bit here and do the dance. Still could rip, though. I could see it go both ways. Somewhat interesting. And that 1 minuto. And I think it's just, and see, you can see what I'm seeing on the 1 minute here. So this is why I keep this in my mind. So I remind myself, yeah, the small time frames might look good, but the 1 hour still needs to reset over time. This would be a beautiful reset of the 1 hour for a nice pump back up to 72,000. Funny, when we go back, when we get to 100K again, which we will, it could take 2 months, it could take 3 months, it could take a year. It could take 2 years. I don't know when it's going to happen, but if I just stay consistent and go live every day, there's going to be a day where Bitcoin hits 100K again, and I'm going to be here. At that point, I'm going to have more Bitcoin than I had before when we were at 100K, and I'm going to be richer than I've ever been yet again. You see what I'm saying? It's not about stressing every single day. It's about looking at the big picture every single day. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Look how I slipped way out of getting into that one. And look, that might bounce, that could be a good short down to the 200. Why am I not shorting? I'm just better at longing. I've perfected longing really, really good. Doesn't mean I can't short. My strategy shows you how to do both, really, with really good, really high probability as well. Well, let's be honest. We're just looking for some sideways consolidation. This would be beautiful. If the 1 hour went this sideways for that long and the 1 minute and the 1 hour did its thing, this would be a special day. So congratulations. We called the bottom last night at exactly around 8 o'clock, which is crazy. Look, 8 o'clock, I went live. That was the end. That was, and we ended up getting a tweezer bottom on the 1 hour that played out. Stop loss below that wick if you have to, or this wick here. It's crazy how well this plays out. No, you know what I mean? I use stochastics RSI to do it. I look at support and resistance. We had beautiful support and resistance. We had a lot of support right here. Resistance, bounce. There was a lot of chop right there. We had bounced right there. This area was, we had bounced right there. We had fell through it there. I mean, this area was key. So I look left. I see how many times we've touched or interacted with a number or a line. If it's a lot of times, I start saying, hey, it's a high probability I could make a long there. So you could, my mind sees it every way. And then it extrapolates the data. So I could have traded just this candle next to that candle because it was a bullish engulfing candle. You could have put the red inside the green. The second it closed here, you get in right there with a stop below there. A little bit of a drawdown, but then bang. Within 2 hours, that trade would have just kept going. Then you look for moving average passageways. And what I talk about is the first thing you do once you're elongated, which means you're pulled away. The first thing is you get above the 200. That's the first thing. Look at every single time you've been elongated. First step is getting above the 200. You could trade, the 21 moving average. Sorry, the 21. And getting above the 21, similar to you could use the 21 similar to how I use the 200. See, look at this. Every time we dump and you close a candle above the 21, after a massive dump, you could execute a long right there. And look, that was a beautiful long with a stop below the nearest wick on the low side of the 21 moving average. That would have played out beautifully had you made this trade right here. Again, this is my own devised site. I've never watched anyone teach this. Someone will steal it and say it's theirs, and then probably, you know what I mean? All my stuff's going to get stolen because I'm good at what I do, and people are going to steal good stuff. But I'm just going to keep creating every single day until the point of no return, and they can't stop, and they all know that it's the life or sauce. But remember, if you're a creator out there, people are going to steal your stuff, man. Don't stress it. Don't worry about it. Don't let fear of any of that stuff stop you. You know why? You could pass away tomorrow, and anything could happen. And I don't want to scare anybody, but I just want to say let's live with the fact that we don't know when we're going to go and be realistic. When you realize you don't know when you're going to go, it's hard to be greedy because you can't take when you go, you can't take it with you, and you don't know when you're going to go. So you don't even know when you could take what you can't take with you. So I get greedy about cars, jewelry, money. It doesn't make sense. See, logically, when you break it down and say, I don't know when I'm going to go, and any day could be my last, why the heck would I be jealous of somebody else? I don't even know when I'm going to go. And someone might have more than you and live till 25. I'll tell you what, man, I'd rather live to 50, right? There's nothing more valuable than time on this earth, folks. But here again, look, a dip, you get above the 21. A dip, you get above the 21. Massive dip, you buy above the 21 here. Stop loss below the nearest wick. Below the 21-day moving average. You seeing a pattern now? There's a dip, a double bottom there, you buy above the 21. There's a dip here, you buy above the 21. Here's a dip here, you buy above the 21. Here's a dip here, you buy above the 21. Same story. You see? You can use that similar to how we use the 200. Okay. This isn't a dip scenario, though. Now, you don't have to buy the bottom and be a hero, but I taught you how to do that too last night on the 4-hour without doing anything. We didn't even need to move moving averages. We just used candle bodies. And again, remember, I didn't even use candle body. I didn't enter in with candle bodies like even 3 years ago. I started doing this in Singapore because my strategy depends on me kind of watching the market every couple of hours, tweaking, looking, and making pretty decent moves on that idea, right? If I can't do that, I get a little hamstrung. And so I was in Singapore, and I knew when we went flying to Singapore, I knew when we went over India, I was going to lose. They kind of told me we would lose. I read about it. I basically said India really controls their airspace, man, and their internet space. And we had Starlink on the plane, but it got blocked over India for whatever reason. They had like interceptors on the Starlink. And so I couldn't see my trade, and it was intermittent too at times. The first flight, I believe I didn't get Starlink. The second flight I did. It was unbelievable. Starlink on the plane was amazing. I live streamed from the airplane. I still can't believe it. I did it twice. The second time I was better than the first. I figured out how to do the mic better the second time. I had to do all that on the fly and figure it out, So yeah, we're looking for this beautiful flag here. Just 6 hours of sideways price action. Remember, Bitcoin mainly consolidates pumps for 2 or 3 hours. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of consolidation, 2-hour pump. You know what I mean? Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours basically, consolidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-hour dump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And technically, you could call it longer. So remember, man, most of your life in trading, which is kind of fun if you think about it, is sitting here and waiting for the pump. Look, that's 1 day and 14 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hours of a pump. Really, 2 hours was the main part of the pump. This one, 1 hour was a main part of the pump. It's a hurry up and wait game, folks. Here's another flag that took a long time to consolidate. You could even just have been this one. You hold shift down. So when you look at this stuff in perspective, you start going, oh my gosh, Sam, thank you so much for pulling out the weeds here and let me see it so clearly. I didn't see it so clearly before, but now I do. And I'm happy that you do now. That's the key. Right? The key is to kind of have that idea. So now that you see this, you realize that most of trading is waiting and setting your and waiting for your setup. And so patience pays a man. Patience pays a man for sure. Does that mean I'm right every time? Does that mean it might not just keep ripping and I might be patient today and miss out? It could happen. Anything could happen. But if you show up every single day, then the right days and the wrong days combine. And if you live with the proper risk management and you have a plan and you don't do anything crazy over time, I mean, for most traders, this works out. I can't tell you what will work out for you because I don't know your lifestyle, exactly your plan. This keeps kind of drawing me in for a possible long here. So I can see how the 1 hour is a little spent. We might get one more little short squeeze before the end of this. They keep toying with me, right? Same trade, stop loss is deeper now. 68,713, right? There's 2 for 685. That ain't bad at all. Kind of defied the bear div in my humble opinion. We're back at another live trade, only risking 2 of the 670 we won. We'll still be up 473 on the day if we get locked out. I do have to say the 1 hour isn't in my favor right now. And it's a Monday. I think I'm going a little above my sauce here. I think I out-traded myself slightly here. Meaning I'm going against some of my strategy. I couldn't help myself, to be honest. Needed a little more self-control on that one, in my humble opinion. That green candle got me a little too excited. But the fact that it denied the bear div was interesting to me too as well, though. Wise word, Sam. I've been getting wrecked the last 9 months. Just horrible risk management and strategy implementation. Still have ways to learn, but I haven't been defeated. I'll never be defeated. The thing is, man, just demo trade, everybody. I know it's not sexy. I know it doesn't sound fun. A lot of people think it's not. It's not real money. You got to develop strategies. You got to develop strategies. It's kind of like if you had a video game that only gave you 3 chances and then you were done, but you could set up a protocol of that video game and play it over and over again, but it wasn't the real video game yet. So what would you do? You would play it for months on end. And then when you did it like perfectly a bunch of times and you did it 10 for 10, you'd be like, all right, I'm ready to go for the real. And then you would take the real video game challenge. Look at this the same way. Tell yourself this is just a video game. Money doesn't exist. It's a made-up concept. Someone made up money, man, to put you inside of a system. Like, we didn't have to use money specifically. It could have been the barter system. We all could have worked together. We could have had a work system where you put how much you worked or what you contributed, and then whatever we made out of it, you got a piece of it. And everyone just had to prove what they did. I've been out there for 13 hours. We grew this many plants. I deserve to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been, well, what did you put into the system, to the product to make the product? You'd be, well, this is what I did. So that's what you deserve. It could have, and again, it technically is a work system. They circumvented it with the money. Then they print money behind our back without work, you see? So they steal from your work. See, it really is a work system. It was all about kilojoules, right? You know what I mean? If I'm saying that correctly. But the energy, man. It's about energy. You produce energy, man, and when they print, and then they pay you for your energy. So that it is, they reduced your energy to a supplemental currency that they can continue to print. They have access to before you do. Use it before you get to it. Lower the value of it before you even touch it. And they do this every single day, constantly. They sell bonds to the Federal Reserve every day, right? Where does the government get money? How does the government get money when it's in debt right now? We're in huge debt. How do we get more money to buy more stuff? We just keep borrowing from the Federal Reserve like it's cool, putting ourselves into further debt. It's a debt ceiling that will collapse under its own weight. It's been done to multiple countries around the world. It's a system that they produce, that they create. This is why they took out James Garfield. He tried to get us off the initial banking system. This is why they took out Abraham Lincoln. He made the greenback his own dollar. People don't know that. Abraham Lincoln made the greenback in 1975. And it was, I think you could use it up until 1975. I didn't even know about the greenback until like 2 years ago or something. The most loved forgotten currency of the United States, right? Why did he make the greenback? You got to ask yourself that question. All right. Look at Google. It doesn't even want you to learn. I guess its Brave browser is off on that. But Abraham Lincoln, the issue of greenbacks, a form of unbacked paper currency to finance the Union's war effort during the American Civil War. In response to the urgent need for funds, Lincoln, as his secretary, Salmon P. Chase, supported the legal tender act of 1862, which allowed the federal government to issue $150 million and U.S. notes, later totaling over $450 million. Those notes, printed with green ink on the reverse, became known colloquially as greenbacks. Though often mythologized as debt-free, interest-free money created by Lincoln, the actual legislation was passed by Congress. Lincoln himself expressed regret over the necessity of issuing fiat currency, calling it a last resort. He later championed the National Banking Act of 1863, which established a national banking system and a uniform national currency to replace the fragmented monetary system. Right? Crazy, man. The greenback. Okay. Emergency paper in the Civil War. 15-minute, make it a flag here. Oh, they dipped it but ripped it. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. It's sketchy to where my stop loss is, right? It's like, probably should put it below that wick. It is below the green candle. We could get this 21 to catch up to price. Right, and get a move further there. It might actually go higher. 71.5 could be a target. Not great right now, down 86 of the trade. Right. I did it, once I made it, I kind of looked at it and was like, eh. Still up about 600 on the day. Ooh, it went down more. What? I was about to say, am I in a short? Because it looked like it bounced, and then and I lost money. It didn't make any sense. Right now, I don't see it amazing. You know what I mean? You might see something different. You might be trading different types of liquidity zones. Who knows what you're doing? Everyone's going to do something slightly different. U.S. oil took that boom, but yeah, now, I mean, that's good. You want to see oil sell now. That got crazy, man. People do crazy stuff in fear, man. Even big boys do stupid stuff. That's what I've learned. You think the big boys, like, look at Tom Lee, amazing investor. Guy's awesome, right? He's down $6 billion, right? I'm just Tech 100 following Bitcoin with the reversal. And I told you yesterday, I said, man, I see this thing getting into a wick back inside my pattern. Like, I just see them wicking this thing back up. I talked about it I said, I see this falling wedge breaking out. I see them basically wicking this thing back inside the pattern and turning this thing into a, consolidation. Everyone, I keep showing you that the Fed is going to inject $50 billion a month, man. Repo market, sketchy stuff going on. I mean, how is this not going to produce a Bitcoin that goes up in value when you have a monetary system that continues to print? I refuse to get off of the reason why I got onto Bitcoin, which was because of the way the system is placed and what they're doing to it. The system itself was flawed. When I studied it, it told me to get into Bitcoin from the flaws. You know what I mean? Once I was a math mind, I took my math mind, I put it on the system. The system had cracks in it. I could see it was a debt-based society. I could see that they were making digital money at the bank with fractional reserve lending. What is fractional reserve lending, you say? That's a great question. That's the very reason I got into Bitcoin. Once I found out about fractional reserve lending, I decided I was in a complete Ponzi scheme. Fractional reserve lending is almost like telling someone you'll do half the work but get paid for all of it. You know what I mean? Like, in a way, that's not really the case, but that's how I feel it is, right? But the fractional reserve banking system, right? And just Google this. This is in plain sight. It's a system where banks hold only a small fraction of customer deposits as reserves, lending out the rest to generate profit and expand the money supply. By lending deposited money, which is then redeposited elsewhere, banks effectively create money. The system relies on trust as most, but not all depositors are unlikely to withdraw funds simultaneously. You see this? If everyone went to the bank at the same time, the bank would go under. This is how almost every bank in America operates, man. That's why if you have $1 million in the bank, they can only give you $250,000 in short. That's why you should never have more than $1 million in the bank. I mean, if you have $1 million, you'd have 3 bank accounts. You should have $250,000 in each account. So crazy, right? So how do you hold large amounts of money in funds, money market accounts, with large hedge funds? It's, you know what I mean? It's just, so if you deposit $1,000, the bank might hold $100 and lend out $900. That $900 is borrowed and likely deposit into another bank, which lends out $810 and so on. This process multiplies the original deposit into a larger amount of money. So I go to the bank and I put $1,000 in the bank. They put $100 in the back end of it and then lend out $900. They give it to someone who takes it and goes and buys a lawnmower with it, right? Because they lent the money. That goes to the hardware store. They deposit the money at the next bank. That $900 goes into the next bank. They keep $90 and give out $810. That $810 goes to the supermarket, right? Supermarket then cashes the money that they make. It goes back, that $810 then goes to, and you minus $81, and it goes on and on and on. I think it's $333 that it makes. Even though it's crazy, I think it is $333 if you go through the math. It might be more. But we could sit there and do the math. And you could ask Grok, actually, with this equation, how much does $1,000 in the fractional reserve? This is insane. Once you understand this, when I figured this out, I got scared, man. I was like, I woke up in some type of like I was in some type of dream. I felt like I was in Clockwork Orange. I really did. Like my eyes were starting. I was just like what the? Like I'm not afraid anymore because I got a good relationship with God. At the time, I didn't. I knew about God. I believed in God, and I was always a soldier of God. But I wasn't like ready to go. Now I'm just like full blown. My belief in God is so strong. Like I put all my faith in God. Like my leg being hurt, so what? God's there for me, man. He's gonna heal this leg so fast. I'm gonna do great. My life is gonna go great. You know what? I started reading the Book of John, the Book of Daniel. Book of Daniel's amazing, man. I think Book of Daniel is my favorite book. It's kind of like it gets really into dreams and fortune telling in a way. It's kind of weird how the Bible's all like fortune telling, which is I don't know. The only thing about that is, isn't like you're not supposed to go to fortune tellers, right? But man, the book of Daniel, man, will blow your mind, bro. Nebuchadnezzar. And then they call the ship the Nebuchadnezzar, right? That's a biblical reference. And like then you start realizing that everything is from everything. And it really makes you wonder what's going on, right? Interesting. Trade still doing things. Could make a right shoulder here and dump on me. Stochastics reset without giving up the lower low, though. That's a good sign of a possible continuation. And this could take hours. I would love it if it did. 3, 4 o'clock, and then we start to bounce. Daniel and Paul were absolute rock stars. They really were, man. Yeah. Shout out to Lakochi Coco. We love you, man. Thank you for being here. We love you, man. What'd you say? No way, Sam, for Lakochi, man. The ancient ruins that can be explained, how they were built, blows my mind. It's called prophecy, yeah? Daniel was a dream interpreter, not a fortune teller. You're right, though, and he prayed to God to interpret the dreams. He even said, I need to pray to my God to ask for the interpretation, and he will give it to me. And then he was able to tell the man, Nebuchadnezzar, what his dream was. Man, I was fat last night, man. Blew my mind, man. I just want to study the Bible all the time. When I have a free moment, I'm watching the Bible now. You know, it's all on YouTube. Like, there's a Bible, you know, you can watch all this stuff on the, you know. And remember, I studied the Bible. I went to theology. I took theology in college. I studied at a Catholic elementary school from 1 to 6. I did, you know, we went as a class. We went to church. We went to all the holy days, you know. Took Eucharist at school, you know. The guy was ripped. Yeah, both mine and your legs are healing fast, Sam. I have 2 broken. A lot of toes along with the pelvis. I'm so sorry to hear that, Milligan. I'm with you, brother. We're in this together, man. The Gospel of John is unique compared to the Synodic Gospels, yeah. Angel is a good streaming service for that kind of stuff. Thank you for saying that. Ooh, 68.9. I'm not liking that. Back to 111 now. I should just not trade for the rest of the day and wait for the 1 hour to reset. One day I will learn complete patience. I still have ants in my pants sometimes. It's okay. I don't over-risk, though. This makes more sense that the 1 hour will eventually... Yes, this is what I want. This is what I want to see. Why? Because by my strategy, it's saying that you're too far from the 21-day moving average. So I'm likely to get stopped out. I shouldn't have taken this trade, I don't think. I was going for a scalpelino, but I knew that the odds weren't great. This would be perfect if we can somehow hold this support or resistance, hold the 200 moving average, and the 21 can come to price. There's a chance, though. You know, in really bullish times, like really bullish, you get upward trending flags. And that is the low of the flag. And the 21 comes and meets it in a parabolic way. I mean, this has happened. I'm not saying it will, but it is one of the possibilities. And then my long would actually still play out and all would be well, but it could happen. So you're telling me there's a chance. Let's see if we can get a green candle close here to kind of offset this higher low. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ, see what the NASDAQ is doing on the smaller time frames as well for you nasty NAS traders. Getting busy. Again, I predicted a bounce on the NASDAQ yesterday, and in the macro analysis, I kept saying, man, I know it looks bearish, but they're going to bounce this puppy. They bounce it pretty good, man. Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. It isn't back above the 200 yet, but it looks like it's going on a V-shaped recovery. 15-minute was in the flag, and it was the 5-minute time frame above the 200. There it is. Technically, this was the entry right here. We got the move back to the upside. Stop loss on the other side of the 200. That one would have been a little sketchy. That's why I used the next candle body below the moving average. Right there, that would have been my stop loss right here. Why? Because it's below the 200, and that's the wick below. That would have played out. An entry here, a stop loss right around here, and you'd be in the money still on that NASDAQ, on the nasty NAS with the move to the upside. Now you got to hold 24,478 for the day. If you're hungry for more, you're looking for the 1 minute to create another flag. You want to see how far the 1 hour is from the 200? It kind of gapped away with the curve. You need this to curve soon. I like see how the 15-minute did the curvature, or I think it was the 30. Yeah, see this strong curve? That's important. You want to look for that. 15-minute now is sent its way back up to the 200. You see when we were near the 21 when we started to pump. Inside the flag. Understand this is everything, folks. Bitcoin, gold, silver, NASDAQ. You can do this. You can do exactly what I'm teaching you. I know you can. I have so much faith in you. I believe in you. I know you can do this. I care about you so much. I want to see you win. God has blessed me with the ability to show up every day for 5 years. There's a good chance I can show up again for the next 5. That's going to be 10 years of some of the hardest work of my life. I'll probably break records, change my entire family's course, and then I'll do, I don't know what I will do for my next, I'll be 50 years old after a 10-year legacy on YouTube, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows? I don't have my plans for that yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. The point is, man, if I keep moving, I believe I'm set for life right now. I really do. I know I'm set for life. Like, I don't have to stress ever again. I figured out the secret to life. I understand how to stay in the present moment. I understand how to give to others. I just got to keep doing these things and not let the devil take them away. Like, every day is a struggle. Just because you find, I don't want to say the secret of life, but I feel like I did, man. I'm content with my wife. She respects and loves me. I've got no enemies that I know of, I have no problems with nobody. I haven't had an argument with anyone. I haven't cussed at anybody. I haven't put anybody down. I have no problems with nobody. My kids love me. I spend a lot of time with them. I say yes almost every single time they ask me to read a book or play with something. I say yes, I do it. If I could help someone, I do it. And I show up every single day to this live stream without a day off. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know what else I could have in this life, and I have a great relationship with God, and I'm working on it every single day. And so I could cry tears of joy. I mean, that's success for me. And I do what I love to do every day. And I don't have a boss that tells me where to be. I had a boss for years that used to tell me where to be and what to do, man. I'm not into that. I'm not into that. Like, get away from me. The second someone starts telling me what to do, I am out. I'm not your, I don't want to be someone's pigeon, man. I'm all set. I like this move here. The NASDAQ looks like it has some continuation on its plate here. And Bitcoin's still kind of hugging the sauce. Only down 69. We'll see. Having a boss. Who here has a boss right now? Because I had a boss for years. And it's okay. Just let me know. Put a 222 if you still have a boss. Put a 333 if you like your boss. And it's not a good thing, but you still just don't want to have one, but you still like your boss. I need to get better at entries and trusting using the measured move. Shout out to Irish American Live. We love you, man. You're on the right track, and this track is very good. We are learning from you. Thank you. God is the only boss. Hey, I like that. Greetings from Indonesia. God bless you. So just keep pushing your own, keep believing in yourself. Stay away from negative people. Stay away from sexual proclivities. Stay away from pornography. You know what I mean? I shouldn't even say it on the show, but stay away from that stuff. It eats your soul, man. It's not good. Don't pay for that stuff. Don't send money that way. Go walk in nature and ask God for help, man. God will help you. I know you don't believe me. Some people don't believe me, but you say, God, I am struggling with blah, blah, blah. I am struggling with the drug addiction. I'm struggling with pain. I'm struggling with staying calm. I'm struggling with my ability to... I'm struggling with my entries. I'm horrible at trading. I keep losing. Can you please help me, dear Lord? People say, why would you pray for your trading? That's, no, you pray for anything that you're willing to get good at and put in the effort. And God is willing to help you. Ye of little faith, my dad would say. Believe in yourself. Ask God for help. It's okay to say, I need some help. That identifies the problem. Lets you work on it. Okay? You expose it for what it is so you can get it taken care of. How do you clean a cut? You got to expose it first. You got to clean it up. You can't let it sit there all dirty. You got to get in there a little bit and get it cleaned, all right? It's not fun. It hurts. It's nasty. But that's how you heal. Okay? To heal my foot, they had to rip me open and cut me open and get in there. They had to slice me open and do surgery to me. Right? But that's how I have to heal, man. We had to make it worse before it got better. We had to get into it before we got out of it. Okay? That's life, folks. That's everything. That's where you're in trading and everything in life. Okay? So we looked at the NASDAQ. If you trade the nasty NAS, you're waiting on the 1 minute to kind of make a flag here. We don't need to push you, you know. If you're in the trade, I would keep moving that stop loss up a little bit, and I wouldn't get out of it yet. I'd kind of keep my stop up below this wick here. On the 5, I'd be right there just sitting at 26.10. My guy was in a trade earlier. I hope he hit it. It would have been one of his biggest trades ever. I hope he hit it, man. I love to see people win, bro. I want to see everybody win. I don't care who you are, what you do. I want to see you win. I don't want to see you grinding, grubbing off me, but I want to see you win. You know. God Candle came. I told you last night, my man. Love you, brother. Is that on the daily? I mean, it's a massive candle on the daily. I don't like using the word God candle. I think it's blasphemy. And you just won't see me saying that. Because it's like, come on, God is God. There's nothing that we can even say is close to God. So a candle is close to God. I'm not, I get it. I used to say it all the time, but what's funny? The closer you get to God, the more you can't say stuff. It's weird, because when you go to say it, you realize it changes your frequency, and you're not into, and you don't want to. Your frequency is so important to procure and to keep at a certain level that you won't go that low. I'm not saying you're going low. I love you. I don't know how to say this without it coming across as rude. But it is weird. Once you change your thought process, you change your language. You realize you just can't say certain things or do certain things because they affect your frequency. Like, I thought I could play video games, but I really can't because they affect my frequency too much, and I'm just not into it. And so I thought I was going to be able to play video games, but I'd rather just sit and stare at the charts all day, man. It's weird. It's crazy, right? I'm just not into video games. My whole generation was into them. I was never a kid, and I felt out of it because I was bad at all the games because I wouldn't play them. All the kids played Halo in college. They all sat in a room. I went on a walk. I rolled something and went on a walk, man. I was always outside in nature asking why. I always wanted to be walking. My whole life, I wanted to be outside. And that's weird when my foot got hurt because I am the biggest walker, folks. When I don't know what to do, I just go for a walk. My whole life, I've been going for walks. I'll see places that are an hour walk away, and instead of taking the train, I'll say, I'll do the walk. I'll walk there, I'll walk back. That's 2 hours. I'll spend 2 hours there. It'll be a beautiful 4-hour afternoon. I'll be exhausted when I get back. I'll leave my house at 12. I'll be home by 5 or 6. What a day. I used to do that in New York all the time. I used to ride my bike all over New York City. Everywhere. If I could put physical effort into the move, I did it, man. I rode my bike to work for 5 years on the night shift till I ended up working in Long Island and I had to ride a car, Looking like we might get kind of an inverted head and shoulder bounce here. It's a symmetrical triangle, though, technically. They could go either way. They mainly do dump. 1 minute symmetrical right here. But I like the falling wedge and I like the double bottom. We double bottom. There was some support at 68.5 or 68.98, 978. This would be a cool little bounce here. This is the measured move of the falling wedge. This is the measured move of the symmetrical triangle inside of the falling wedge. Sorry if I give you too much data. I'm just giving you as much as I can in these beautiful 2 hours every single day. What do you do when you struggle with faith? I really don't struggle with faith. I used to struggle with faith a lot, man, because after my mother died, my faith was solidified. Yeah, God, literally, he sealed it. God can seal your faith, and once it gets sealed, it's maybe, you never know, I'm human. There might be another time. I might have an event one day in my life that shatters me so much that I question my faith, but I really don't see how that's possible anymore. My mother died on Thanksgiving. It did not shatter my faith. It made it so strong. I realized that my beautiful God took my beautiful mother while she was surrounded by her beautiful family instead of being all alone. Look at that nice pump to the upside for Bitcoin. Nice little surge bounce there. Nice candle on the 1 minute. Strong move if you were just trading that little inverted head and shoulder there. I love a pump like that. All right, that was nice. Really green, really clean on TradingView right there. Sign up to tradingview.com. I have a link below if you want to check it out. I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay. Also, we got Bitcoin Las Vegas coming up, baby. Bitcoin Las Vegas, jump on in today. You got to jump into Bitcoin Las Vegas. 4 days, 15 hours, and the price will increase. Jump on it today. Get 10% off with the code LIFER. Get the pass, buy the passes, or the hotel bundle. Use code LIFER to get 10% off your Bitcoin entry pass to the event. Okay. Last night you were bearish, but I longed. How could I be bearish? I longed price action last night. Look at this guy. I took a long last night. Let's run the tape. Let's run the tape of the long. Sean, go get last night's long. I can even get it. It's crazy. This is funny. I like this stuff. It makes me laugh a lot. You were bearish last night when you longed Bitcoin at the bottom.
So when I look at Bitcoin,
Like, okay. Thank you. I mean, I have the trade to show for it. I don't know. Hey, maybe it was bearish, but I traded against myself. To me, it's really about the trade. And that's why it's not about what you think or do. I mean, it's not about what you think. It's about what you do. You can think whatever you want. What do you do? You were scared. No, you were scared. No. Right? And to buy the fear usually plays out, right? So it's like... So, hold up. I've been buying the fear and not really be getting rewarded for it. Just going to take a gander every time. This is how it starts. And I was exhausted last night. Look at me. I look horrible. My goodness, what a difference a night makes. But that's all day Saturday being beat. 65. I was withdrawing from painkillers, man. Like, this monitor stinks too. It makes you look red. It's a bad monitor. 1,000 for 11,000. I mean, 1,000, right? You hit that trade, change your whole life, right? Should have went all in on that one, man. But anyway, I took this long last night in front of everybody. That was the low. So I guess, I mean, you could say I was bearish, but I'm taking a long in front of you. I don't know what that, you know, the proof is in the freaking video, right? The proof is over there. Hey. Oh my God, look at that. Second I turn around, they dump the price. False move Monday, baby. Look at that. And now they're about to stop me out in 2 seconds. Look at that, man. So crazy how fast. Did they do it to the NASDAQ too? Little reset on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's okay because it was pumping higher. I just keep your flag on that NASDAQ on that 5 minute. Look for that to kind of not lose this support here at 24,531. Would have been a great sell. Did they get to 620s? They did, man. My buddy might have made one of his biggest trades of his life. And look, symmetrical triangle. They faked it, ripped it right back down and dumped it. So crazy. But that makes sense. It's a false move Monday, man. You gotta love this Monday craziness every single time. The most predictable thing about Monday is that it's unpredictable. Monday will be predictably unpredictable. Amazing, right? Gotta love it. Predictably unpredictable Mondays, baby, Mondays. Look, they didn't get me out, though. The 200 still held us on the 1 minute time frame. And look, now I'm underneath the 200, which is interesting. Using support or resistance, using some of these key areas. And again, this is why I usually don't even trade until Monday afternoon at like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I get very active. Yeah. I left with 13 scars. Dang, man. 13 scars doing what? When I was L King, a couple of my boys lost their lives in front of me. That's something that I still dream about. So sorry to hear that, man. Dan, you did look rough. I know, right? You're funny, man. Who was here last night and jumped into DEXE? I know, right? With the move to the upside, let's take a look at DEXE. It was the only chart that looked good to me. I considered putting an alert and taking a look at the pump. Nice, beautiful pump for DEXE. And we hit it. Decentralized DEX. Look at that beautiful gainer. Almost hit the dang target. Looks like it probably will. Shout out to anyone that took DEXE in the trading group. And we gave you DEXE. And again, we don't give up. There's still altcoins out there to make money, man. There's still opportunity to the people that believe there's opportunity. To the people that don't believe, to the people that can't handle it, to the people that don't see it, there's nothing left. I get it. But for the people that still believe, for the people that keep pushing, there is so much opportunity out here, folks, every single day. Okay? And I give as much as I can for free, but a lot of it is in the trading group, I'm telling you. Like tonight, I'm going to be off, and you're not going to see me again until tomorrow morning. I could make 5 or 10 trades. You have no idea what information I'm going to put out inside the trading group. Go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Dang. Wish I lived less on that one. Yikes. Bitcoin of the same pattern all weekend. Watching. Yeah, it looks like it's, I mean, this, I want to see, I personally, the system says it should come down. Look at it battling the 200 now, and I'm right there. It's so funny. And that's why I love risking what I'm not afraid to lose, because, and I'm already up on the day, because then it's just like, you just feel scot-free. Still going to be a $500 day, and then we're going to figure out where we go from there, which is great. And this is why I just delete all the sauce now, and I'm just really watching the 1 hour, right? And it's got to come back to the 21. It really does. However it does it, it's got to do it. So my whole life is getting in on a flag near the 21, selling when you're away, using the 200 for confirmation if needed, and then just rinse and repeating over and over again. It's a pretty boring system. And it's how every single asset in the entire world works. Like, there's no surprise, there's no confusion. I see this everywhere all the time. All coins, Bitcoin, heck, DEXE screener on a coin that I've never even seen before. It works on meme coins. It works on Bitcoin. It works on Chevrolet. It works on Ford. It works on gas. It works on corn. It works on oil, NASDAQ, S&P. It works on Forex. You want to do a Japanese yen AUD trade, right? I hit, look, Japanese yen AUD, Australian dollar. Look at this. Watch this. When we got above the 200 and touched the 21, we spiked up. Beautiful trade right there on the smaller time frame. You can go to the 4 hour. You can see it's in a downtrend. When to start? When we lost the 200 moving average. We got the 21 away from the 200, which is the dump, you know, when you start to dump. It's a beautiful short. So if you did AUDJPY, then you'd be in a beautiful long, right? You see? And now you can look at this, and if this is going to continue, which it may, you start flagging this out, and this is how we trade Bitcoin. And this is what I do, and this is how I trade altcoins, and I set the alert, and this isn't an altcoin, this is Forex. I trade everything the exact same way. It all does the exact, I figured it out, man. I found the sauce, like I really did. Like, I know it sounds pompous and it's crazy, but I figured out how markets work, man. And again, it doesn't mean you can't get caught up, and they can't get at you, and it can happen. But this is how markets work in a general basis. Same thing here. Like, this is the 21's going to catch the 200. If you lose the 200 moving average here, then you're going to continue to the 5-minute 200 moving average. There's some bear div. Look how the Stokes sweeped down, but this sweeped up, like, right? I'm already out of the trade, as you can see. And I show my losses just like my wins. It's okay. It's okay. The key is to be in the game. And I really even trade Mondays, so the fact that I'm even trading Monday, even for slight money, is crazy. Even though I'm up $500 on a Monday morning, like. So look at this DEXE. Looks like it could continue here. 21 above the 200, getting tight. Doesn't mean they can't wick it down. Anything can happen. You always have to tell yourself that anything is possible, and then you go from there. I'm going to short from 69.15, looking for 68.450. Looks like you might get it. Yeah. It's the moving averages based on the chart you're looking at. I don't know what you're saying. I think you're talking to someone else, right? I don't know. So yeah, I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame now and no other time frame. Once this candle closes red in 19 minutes, it's going to solidify a tweezer top, which then begins consolidation and or pullback. You could technically short back to the 21. You could technically get into a short right now with a stop above these wicks, but it's, you know, no guarantees you're going to win that for sure. Sam, can you make an offer 1 + 1 month for beginners? I don't know what that means. I do everything I can for beginners here live every single day for 14 hours a week, and actually for 16 hours a week with the 2 extra live streams. Like, I'm streaming about 16 to 17 hours every single week. That's a lot of information. And I'm giving you guys my ideas, tips, tricks, and strategies, showing you how it goes across time frames, across multiple assets. So we don't need to give anything away to the Discord. We don't need to discount the Discord. We don't need to give free months. We still hook people up. We still have awesome stuff. But there's no need to do that. We give so much away for free here every single day. What I want to do is actually make you so much money because from your education that you then use that money to buy the Discord. It's almost like a give back thing. You're like, wow, Sam, you've done so much for me. I'll buy the year for the next 5 years. And now you've got a skill. Not only do you have a skill to pays you for the rest of your life if you do it right, but you have the gratitude and the gracefulness to believe that it's worth joining the group. So that's kind of, those are the type of people I like to be on. Karmatic souls, man. People that give back to things they got. I give back to what I have. I send respect back to what was before me. Right? Respect your elders, boy. It's important. Greetings from Poland. God bless you, man. Right here, right now. Yeah, you're the best, Sammy. I admire your determination, yeah? This daily live stream alone is far more insightful and resourceful than anything else that most people would not give out. Sam is actually the GOAT. Thank you for saying that. God bless you, brother. He goes, I buy Discord stock soon. You're funny. I like that. You're funny. Flow had a little bit of a pump here. And these are little coins. DEXE, one of the top 3 coins on Maxi today. Numbers, remember numbers? Numbers protocol over here. Numbers. Look at numbers is in an uptrend here. Getting tight inside a flag. I think the volume's a little too light for me. But sometimes I just look at price action regardless of volume. I'm just curious to see what will happen. It's kind of like rolling roulette to me. Like, you never know, right? It's a constant game of what could happen, right? Humans are addicted to what could be. Funny, you know Tao, the guy that wrote the Taoism, started Taoism, he talked about what makes something valuable. Like what makes a bowl valuable, he said. And he said the space inside the bowl makes it valuable, the empty space. You can pour things in that space. It's not the bowl itself is great, but it's the empty space inside the bowl. So what makes a room valuable? It's the empty space inside the room. So if you think of life, what's valuable about life? Is it the empty space inside of life that you can't see? And we talk about Henry, Thoreau, right? Thoreau, Thoreau. And he went out to Walden, which is in Massachusetts, and he spent 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days in a cabin alone. Well, most people thought he was crazy. He wasn't starting a business. He didn't help his father. He didn't get into... He was sitting there doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And everyone thought, but what he was doing is he was finding the trueness to life by extrapolating everything. And I tell you guys this all the time. Go into nature. Keep your phone for emergency purposes or something, but put it in the backpack. Get away from it. Get away from it. Give yourself a few hours away from the phone a day. Break the connection. It can't be every 5 seconds. It can't be all the time. Right now, I have 2 hours free. I don't touch my phone. I don't look at it. I don't know what it does. I'm so free, right? I'm not in it. I'm not sitting there. I'm not scrolling. I'm gone. I'm done. Right? Book, Christ, the eternal now. That's interesting. He goes, 4 hour making a right shoulder for a massive dump. Is it now? I see what you're saying. Like, this could be a shoulder. This could be a head. This could be a right shoulder. It could be. Yeah, and it's a bit overbought, too. It's really going to take it to what we see on this 1 hour time frame tonight. It's going to take some time. 5 to 6 hours for this to solidify. Looks like the shorts are in control throughout the afternoon. Well, look, we gave you Forex. We gave you, like, see how numbers and they look exactly the same. So I don't have to trade anything. I just trade what I see. Funny fact, media fact, the thing's gone. I wouldn't touch SNEC. Route protocol, I actually own that. Speaking of Tao, look at Tao's in the money there. Got very close. It looks like it may have been, I guess it didn't get, it's like very close to the stop though. But I like Tao. Let's take a look at Tao on the bigger picture here. Redraw that trend line. That may have been stopped out. I'm not trying to hide that, so no worries if someone's, oh, there he goes. Maybe it did. The altcoins have been very hard to trade. I've put like 1 or 2 altcoins out here and there. Wow, beautiful gap through this VRVP here. Back to the upside for Bitcoin. I like buying a flag outside of the bigger flag with the 21 touching above the 200. Wouldn't jump into Tao just yet, but AI is starting to brew. This is the hardest AI project with the most kind of backing and a lot of people behind it. A lot of long-term holders won't sell their TAO either, like me, and have been in TAO for a long time. We started looking at TAO when it was first $60, $20, I believe. So, KKX's AI analysis assisted that analyze the asset for you. That's cool, man. Looking for the price action to get super tight. Right there. Crazy, right? Says, there's a high chance of a possible swing trade with a stop below the 69,300 area. Right? It's crazy. Can I ask what we will get to the Discord? If you join the Discord, okay, right off the bat, you're going to get asked to basically a free trading course, right? My content directory, which basically has like so much information. It take you like a month or two to go through it all properly. And it's got support of resistance boot camp, right? Limit orders versus the market order. How to trade. Bookmap webinar, how and why to use alerts. That's so important. TradingView shortcuts. You need to know all the shortcuts on TradingView. Okay. Very important. VRVP, fractals, stochastics, candlesticks, support of resistance, right? All this stuff. Fibonacci, the making of a trade, the death cross, measured moves, time frames, the cup and handle, diamond pattern, double tops, double bottoms, triangle, more, okay? So right off the bat, I mean, that's just like you could buy a course for $2,000 or you could just join my Discord and there's a free course in there. So there you go. That's it right there. Number one, boom. Number two, every single morning and every single night, about 99% of the time, I'll give you an update about Bitcoin, where it's going. Usually it's a video update, 99% of the time, I had to do it for years, didn't miss sometimes, but, most of the nights you're going to get a morning update of the morning and a morning update at night every single day. I wake up around 7 a.m. every day. I go to sleep around 12 to 1 every night. You get the update sometimes between 8 and 11 o'clock, depending. I wait to see where the update has the most impactful information at the time. Okay? Yeah, so there, and then on top of that, we have an elite group of traders inside my trading group, right? That are also posting charts every day on altcoins that they're seeing and whatever's going on. This is happening all the time. So you're paying for me, you're paying for these guys. This is crazy, okay? And they're doing analysis and showing you what they see and what's happening. I'm also giving leveraged scalps on small time frames for Bitcoin. I occasionally give NASDAQ futures updates and trades too as well, okay? And then I give you life or news, which is like, I give you every morning. I do like if I'm watching how do I motivate my mind and the videos I use to brainwash myself to stay positive, I post those every single day. When I was working out, I was posting my workout every morning. And I was telling you got to keep working out. You can't stop. So yeah, I mean, I just, and you kind of live with me through my routine. You also get my connections. Like I might meet you somewhere. You could hang out at one of my events. We do some private stuff throughout the group too as well. Dinners, when I go to different cities, I put out an invite to the group who wants to be at dinner. We go to high-end steakhouses and have fun, and, I spend money on you guys. So if you want to jump on in, the other day I made a bunch of money on a trade. I gave $500 away to someone in the group, and I said, whoever gives me your US tether right now, boom. And it was $6.99 for the year so basically pay for the year almost. And so we do that too as well. You might even just win your money back. So jump on in today. We're there every single day. I don't take a day off, 7 days a week. Okay, the weekends are pretty slow right now because there's low volume, and that's the Discord's popping, man. Go to CryptoLifer.com. I think it's the best Discord in the game. Of course, it's my product. I believe in it. But I grow it every single day. I add to it. We're always doing something amazing. We do a weekly screen share every single week on Thursday nights. I had to take a couple weeks off because I was hurt. But that's something we also do. So we build it. We got it for you. Look at Bookmap building more liquidity up to 71,000 right now. Starting to show that we're going to go up. So Bookmap is suggesting a short squeeze to $70,000 or $71,000 sometime into the near future. I like it, man. Let's see if Bitcoin could just stay above the 200 and hit that 21 on the 1 hour time frame. We have ourselves a monster trade on our hands with a stop below probably like this resistance here or this resistance right there and the 200 moving average. I like to use supportive resistance and the 200. So my next trade should be in about 4 to 5 hours, 7 to 10 at the very most. We don't know exactly, but something like this. If all goes well, we'll go sideways. And the 21 will catch somewhere here at about 8 o'clock tonight, and we'll get a beautiful bounce to the upside and a beautiful trade. I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure. It might be a downtrending flag that hits the 21 there, but still, both look viable to me for a possible good trade. So I like what I'm seeing with that. We'll go from there. We covered a lot today on the channel. It's been absolutely amazing. Let's take a look at the super chats and see what you people are saying here in the fan funding. Hub334 with the $10 super chat said, thank you so much for the kind words, brother. Much love and God bless. Can't wait to get that Bitcoin sign sent over to you. And very happy to hear your excitement about it. Sammy the Goat, God bless you, man. And this is the guy we talked about, the welding, the amazing welder there. And we showed you his website earlier there. Now I can't find it. azweldinghub.com. Check him out, man. He deserves every single view that he gets right now. And he made me a beautiful Bitcoin sign out of the kindness of his heart. Didn't have to do it. Worked on it, polished it. Put as much effort in as his most expensive product. I know he did. I could feel it. I could feel the frequency from the email and from his passion. Thank you so much, man. I love this chat. I love the people behind the chat. I love the interaction. I love the realness. This is what I do every day because it's amazing. God bless you all. Much blessing, Sam. Trading in the zone just came in the mail today. Thank you for everyday guidance. Can you take a peek at gold, baby gold? Let's take a look at gold. Thank you for saying that. And my gold trade down $300, so it didn't do much. Let's take a look at gold right now. All right. So if the war stops and everyone calms down, everyone will go back into risk on assets again and everything will be fine. If the war keeps going and getting more and more threatening, more sketchy, gold will continue to go up in value. You think Bitcoin would go up with gold based on war. You know what I mean? You can get out of the country better with Bitcoin than any other asset in the world. They're trying to scare people away from hoarding wealth in Bitcoin by making it volatile. You see what I mean? If you ask the average person, they'll say, isn't that down hard right now? Isn't it, you know what I mean? Like Claviclear. Great guy, but he's like, you know, he's popular. Whatever's popular is what the masses are watching, right? It's not popular to trade the 200 on the 1 minute time frame. What I do isn't popular. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'll ever be as big as the Super Bowl with what I do. You see what I'm saying? But I'm a niche guy that does a niche that I love to do, so it is what it is. I fell into this niche for whatever reason. When I was 27, I didn't know I was going to be doing this at 40 years old. I had no clue. I thought I was going to be acting in a movie somewhere. You know, I still like gold here. The only thing is it is a little sketchy. It could lose the 200. It's kind of shoulder, head, shoulder. See how it looks like a head and shoulder pattern? There is a bit of a head and shoulder there. I do have to caution that. However, we have bounced a few times. And I just see the dollar about to take a big dump. So I'm still long gold for this bounce back to the upside. I could get stopped out. And they'll bounce it back up. I don't know for sure. But a stop below this wick, below the 200, and a bounce at least back to the top of the channel looks likely to me. I'm not in love with the head and shoulder pattern, but it looks like it's been negated by chop. So that's what I see happening for gold. And if it does continue, its measured move takes you to 62.37 or 62.27. Nice move. Bitcoin showing some strong support here at 69, 68.8, getting a pretty big wick on that. You know, if you take a look here at the 15-minute, it's resetting pretty nicely. I'll be looking at the 15-minute and the 200 all day. And and the 1 hour all day. That will be my go-to time frames for the day. Saying we're getting a short squeeze up to 70,000 now. There was red at 71. It kind of came and went. But they got liquidity built all the way up to 75K, as you can see. And it looks a lot thicker up here than down there for now. Looks like Bookmap is picking a direction to the upside in the next 2-3 days. Second week of the month, we did have kind of a red month that recovered after the wick. Could give us a bit recovery. Jason Casper, God bless you, brother. God bless Jason Casper of the house. Thank you so much for being here, man. Hope you have a wonderful day, brother. Thank you so much for giving. You didn't have to give what you did. That will come back to you tenfold. May you have a wonderful stream. If you haven't streamed yet, jump on in, everyone. Check him out. He's awesome. He's funny. He's amazing. Nice guy, man. Hope to see you soon if possible. One last time, man. Brother to brother. I'm pretty sure it'll cheer me up. But I love you all, man. Everyone, thank you for being here at this amazing live stream. One of the best I've ever had. I really feel good about it all the time. The last few streams have just gone amazingly well. And I'm just so grateful. I'm off the painkillers, everyone. It's now be 3 days now since I've touched a pill. And I'm just going to deal with the swelling and whatever. Yesterday, I did fall on my foot, which was horrible. On my foot that I had surgery on. I took a spill inside my dressing room. It was not good. I laid on the floor in pain. It wasn't great. So, yeah. My mentor was Crypto Revolution. He has now since passed away. Yeah. Someone said, KITE AI getting tight. Let's take a look at KITE AI. I love how there's still options out here to trade. Well, we had that initial pump, but it came back down inside the little pattern here. And the daily is getting very tight. Very, very tight. God bless all my beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. This thing could bounce all the way up to about, what, 50? Yeah. Thank you, Sam, of the Lifers. Cat is nice, yeah. I mean, it's been holding. It's also sketchy. All coins are sketchy. You got to know every time you're touching an alt, it's high risk right now. I'd even wait for a little bit of a bounce. I don't think I'll trade it, even though it could make a beautiful pump. I'm just not in alt season mood just yet. I don't have it in me to go all the way. And it's not even in me. It's just telling me that things aren't perfect yet. Yeah. I've never heard of David Pa. I have no idea who he is, man. Wow, I tried my best to catch this live today. Thank you. God bless you. Go to the gym, bro. And again, another thing about it is the live changed times, right? Remember that. So if you're from a different part of the world, we're back to our original timing. It's crazy that they do that to me. They throw off my live stream every single time. It took us 5 years to kind of get people to realize that it's like my notification wins every time. You know, that's why the stream started small. You saw at the beginning because people were like, wait, he's on an hour later than normal. They're thinking I'm late. But I trade the markets, baby. And we're East Coast, New York City time. And that's the time you want to be involved. You don't want to change, you know, so if we change our time, you change your time. Kind of stinks because if you're in Europe and you have a nice schedule, twice a year, you got to change your schedule to get back into tick with the New York market. Shout out to Grandmaster, front of the house. God bless you, man. Shout out to Stack McChange in the house. Shout out to Go to the Gym, bro. All my beautiful people here. Shout out to everyone that gave, man. And it's funny, I gave a $100 super chat earlier today to a channel. Look, I got it right back. It never seems to fail. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank you so much for being awesome and amazing lifers. You know my steez. I'll say it again. We're looking for a flag on the 15 or a flag on the 1. Those are the two time frames I'm really keen on right now. And I'm looking for continuation up to 71.7 and a possible short as we have a lot of liquidity for Bookmap above us at 70,000 and beyond. 71.5 is deep there. It's dark there. This is a heat map order book. I do get a commission if you sign up. I greatly appreciate it. If you sign up to any of the links up here, I do get a commission. I greatly appreciate it. Weeks, BTCC and MEXC. Or BitTinex too. We have links below. Also, if you want to jump on in and get a discount to the Bitcoin conference, I highly suggest you do. If you forget the link or you just click it here or you go to this, just put in code LIFER, man. You can't forget LIFER. Just put in LIFER as the code. Get your 10%. I got to see you there, folks. It's a big deal that we show up in numbers. It's only in 2 months. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be there hobbling around, probably the first time I ever can walk again. Check it out, man. I can't wait to show you. We have another super chat for River. Can you check River for me? Hoping for a pump from Ricky and Gouda. Let's take a look at that. And Ricky, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. Let's take a look at River. River, baby, River. Wow, so River dumped. We wanted to see it pump out the flag to the upside. I did not trade River. It didn't stay, it would have had to have stayed right here for me to trade it. It would have had to consolidate in the tightness. It did not do that. Let's take a look at River on the bigger time frames and whittle our way down. We'll start with the weekly and come on back. Jason, I hope you're getting your sun, man. You better be tanning every day for at least 2 hours a day. I want to see you blacker than the blackest night when I see you. So look at this. I mean, the 3-day chart looking good. The daily chart. I don't know, man. It had a low, at a high, and at a lower low. Then it had a lower high. It has to put in a lower high, a lower low, a higher low now. It's got to do something of that nature. I like the trend line. It's okay. Bit of a cup and handle. If Bitcoin bounces, almost everything gets happy. If Bitcoin dumps, this will just slump. You might get a bounce back to the upside here. Let's zoom back into the 4. It's struggling with the 200 moving average. Let's zoom back into the 1. Not my favorite package right now, to be honest. I think there's better out there. Looks like it's going to come down here and test like 1180 first. But I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not a fan right now of that. I would move on. .com, as my dad used to say. He loved saying that. Whenever he saw someone that was just like a no, like you don't hang out with that, or that, he looked in and he saw someone that was like, he'd be like, move on. .com, man. Like, get away from this guy. Like, my dentist saw me, he hadn't seen me in years. He said, your father, if there was any flies on your father, they'd be dead, man. Your dad didn't carry any dead weight, bro. Like, the second he noticed you were soft or couldn't figure it out, you were out, man. He didn't have you, he didn't play around. He couldn't sit there and take care of you. You got to be able to hold your own. Friends don't let friends become friends, man. I'm not here to freaking babysit you, my dad used to say. He was a great dad to have because he made me independent early. He put the ball in my court very early. He said, listen, Sam, I'm not going to lie to you. By the time I was 14, he said, have I ever lied to you? I've told you to you straight since day one, haven't I? I said, you're right. I said, I didn't BS you, bro. Silver looks like it's going to continue with gold. I like this little curve here. It could dump, though. You know what I mean? We're on this precipice. But you're hugging the higher lows. If you want to wait, you wait for silver to bounce a little bit. You lose a little bit of price action, but you get it at 88, 89 or something. Or you watch the consolidation. Really, really aggressive move right now with the higher low. But, I mean, I see the dollar moving down. They're going to put a bunch of money in. All right? Me and my father always says life's a marathon, not a sprint, man. God bless you, brother. Yeah. So a lot of possible information here. I'll put this out to the group if I like it. So yeah, I'm still long gold, which means I'm basically long silver. And it's all about using alerts. You see how I'm using alerts to kind of see what's happening to price action. Stay in tune. 21 catching price right there with support and resistance holding is it's pretty nice so far. I'll check back into the trading group and we'll keep it moving all day long. We'll be trading into tonight and until the update comes and we continue to go. Everyone, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing, baby. Let's go. Crypto is life. I love you guys more than you know. I love this job. I love what I do. I wouldn't stop it for any reason every single day. No days off, baby. You give me so much joy, so much energy, and so much high frequency. I'll see you guys in the trading group. I love you. Thank you. God bless. Be safe. Be amazing. Yeah. Two bulls sitting on top of the hill looking down all day, man. Amen. Love you guys. Stay blessed. Stay amazing. Keep kicking it. 15-minute looks like we might get a bounce there off that 21 low stochastics. Hey. I'll see you tomorrow. Secret to success is getting started, baby. Keep going. Don't stop.
you.